Hello and welcome to this edition of City Hall Insider. I'm Jim Marshall of the New Bedford Cable Network, and it's a special show today. It wasn't all that long ago. You were just here moments ago, it seems like. Ashley Payne is our guest. She is the Director of Tourism and Marketing for the City of New Bedford. Thanks for coming in again.
Thank you for having me.
I've missed you.
It's been a while, huh?
It's been a while. This is going to be a dated show, as they say, because this is specifically, we're here to talk about City celebrates New Year's Eve. A big event for you. Obviously, you're just new to the job, and this is, by the way, coordinate New Year's Eve for us here in the city.
It's a huge event for the city. Something I've been working on since day one of getting into the office back in July. So a lot of preparation, a lot of work. We're still kind of tightening up some final details, but we are so ready.
Tell me a little bit about in the process itself. Obviously, you weren't here for last New Year's Eve, but I would assume that the staff, you're already looking like in January of this year or the next year, whatever, you're already looking ahead to that next New Year's Eve.
Yes, so we were able to pull a lot of the information and programming and ideas that have been done in the past and kind of tweak them and make them new for this year. But moving forward, we're definitely going to just go all out and see what we can do to create an exceptional experience that's something new for next year as well. But it is a lot of planning that goes into it, so we'll be working hard all year for it.
Is there competition in a sense for performers and artists and whatever that you're trying to lure to the city?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, New Bedford is definitely known for its arts and its culture, so we want to be able to put on a really great show with our events and show that we are a city that supports the arts. So to be able to be chosen to be a performer during one of these events, I think is a really great sense of pride for artists.
When you're looking at the show itself, or I say the show, but when you're looking at the evening, and it really is a show, what are your goals? And I'm not talking specifically as performers or whatever, but what is your goal or objective as you're planning this event out?
For me, it's just how can we create diverse programming that's going to be family friendly, but also offer something for everyone. So a lot of our programming is family friendly. It's great for all ages, but then we have a couple things that are also great for adults if they want to get away from the kids for the night. They'll be able to experience a night on the town and still have fun.
You need a lot of cooperation from the downtown merchants and other areas, and I would assume that that's something obviously that has to be coordinated. You're probably still doing it now in some cases.
Absolutely. So we try and be completely transparent with the business owners downtown and let them know our plans and everything that's going on. So we've kind of gone door to door to talk to a lot of the businesses in the area, let them know about any street closures that might be happening during the event and what's going on so they can also help promote it, because any opportunity to get people downtown is also an opportunity to help support their businesses.
When you were here before, you were talking about, I thought it was interesting too, that people don't think of December, January as being, quote, tourism season, if you will. But these events in December and City Celebrates, these are huge tourism draws for the city.
For sure. So we anticipate seeing at least 3,000 people out for City Celebrates New Year's Eve. It's a great opportunity to bring people to the city. It's not just residents that are coming in, it's people from surrounding towns as far as Providence as well. Boston has their big event. We have our big event down here for the greater New Bedford area.
I would assume too that the city's been doing some sort of event on New Year's Eve for years now. So the history that the city has lends to the ability to draw performers and artists and what have you.
Absolutely. We've been hearing it from all of the businesses in the area and even the library, just saying people are asking what's going on for City Celebrates. So everyone knows about it. They know that it's happening. Yes, it is happening on Saturday, December 31st. We're super excited, and it is great to be able to continue this tradition to offer family-friendly programming throughout the downtown area.
I would assume that, when you're looking at tourism, tradition is key as well. To know that the continuity is there every year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can sell that, but I would assume that that's something that's important.
No, I mean, it's great that people know that if they're looking for somewhere to go for New Year's Eve or any type of event, they know they can look to New Bedford as the place to go. Whether that's during the summer, looking for events to go to on the weekends, or New Year's Eve and even the holiday stroll. These are some staple events that we have happening in the city that people know they can turn to and go to.
Part of the success, and you and I were talking about this off camera, part of the success I know is the sponsors of New Year's, City Celebrates New Year's Eve. And we wanted to make sure that they were mentioned too. Bristol County Savings Bank, Vineyard Wind, and Claremont Companies are all helping out to draw in or to help fund this event.
That's correct. So Bristol County Savings Bank has been a huge supporter of City Celebrates for years.
Yeah.
And they have continued the tradition of sponsoring our event. They're the lead sponsor for City Celebrates, so we're very thankful for their generous donation. We've also partnered with Vineyard Winds and Claremont Companies this year as well to help support artists and the programming.
How important is it for this event to get those sponsors? I mean, you can't do it without them.
Without them, it really would not exist. We could have a few things going on downtown, but the level of programming that we have happening this year would not be happening without their support, especially being able to bring in the fireworks over the harbor. Yeah. That's a huge draw to bring people downtown, and it just would not happen without their support.
And the prior success of the event also leads to being able to get the sponsors.
That's correct.
If you don't have a track record, nobody's going to step up and help you out.
Yeah, and so we've been doing some extra marketing to try and get the idea out about City Celebrates. So we've been going and putting things in restaurants and bars and things downtown, as well as the museums. So we have coasters that are all throughout the restaurants. You can see it whenever you're sipping your glass of water or your beer. You'll see that coaster that's reminding you that we have City Celebrates coming up.
Talk about the footprint. We're going to talk a little bit. We've got an artist coming in for the second segment here of the show, but talk a little bit about the footprint of this event. This is throughout downtown.
Yes. So we've changed up the footprint a little bit from previous years. So we're kind of keeping programming going from the library down to the National Park Visitor Center, with things going on outside at Custom House Square as well as Wings Court. We kind of decreased the footprint this year based off of feedback that we've gotten from visitors that have attended the event in the past. But then, of course, we'll have Union Street as well as right in front of Cork and Rose Alley shut off so that people can enjoy the fireworks without having to worry about traffic or anything.
As you're looking at, so it's obviously a walkable distance for all these events. And we haven't even mentioned the events from 4 to 8 p.m. and the fireworks, I believe.
5 to 8 p.m.
5 to 8 p.m., I'm sorry, 5 to 8, and the fireworks
8:30.
8:30, right, a little bit later to give people time to get down there.
Yep.
When you're looking at the footprint right now, there's different locations for obviously different events, and we'll talk about them in a little bit. Why these locations, in a sense? Are they just because they're centrally located or easy to find, or Custom House Square is a great place too? Sure.
We wanted to bring some of the programming inside. It is the end of December,
Yeah.
so it is cold, and you never know what's going to happen with the weather. But these are also locations that we've partnered with in the past that are great partners with the city that have generously offered to be open during this event. So they're providing volunteers to keep the space open so that we can host this programming inside.
You are, and you kind of touched upon it, you are at the mercy of Mother Nature.
That is correct.
And we've covered it, a few years ago. It seems like it was pouring rain that night.
Yeah.
And it could be cold. We've also been down there when it's been like 50 degrees. So, I mean.
Last year was pretty warm for New Year's Eve. So we'll see what it's like this year.
And you're also worried about clouds because you want the fireworks to go off.
Correct.
Because the fireworks are going to go off.
Yes. So we have a rain plan in place. We are hoping that we have beautiful weather, yeah. But we do have a plan in place. So if for some reason we need to postpone the fireworks, we can do that and move it to the following day, which is on the 1st. It's not ideal.
Right.
Announcements will be made if that needs to happen, but we are going with everything is going to happen New Year's Eve for fireworks.
The great thing about New Year's Eve, too, with the fireworks is that on a crisp, clear night, you can see them a lot better December 31st than you can on July 4th. Mm-hmm. Because when it's humid and cloudy,
yeah,
it's a better picture, I guess, that you don't usually get when people think of fireworks in July.
Absolutely. It's a great time to just enjoy the city and see the fireworks.
You touched upon, and I wanted to make this, because you've kind of brought it up too in the past here, you touched upon how, a lot of the bars and restaurants are participating, but you've also emphasized, again, that there's family things. I mean, when you think New Year's Eve, you're thinking parties and stuff like that, but what you're saying too is, no, this is for everybody.
This is for everybody. So we schedule everything a little early in the evening so that families can enjoy all of the programming and the fireworks. So events start at 5 p.m. and run until 8. And that gives families an opportunity to kind of enjoy themselves downtown before it's too late and before you need to worry about traffic or being out late at night. If you choose to be out late, it's a great opportunity to head down, maybe grab a bite to eat, go see the fireworks, and then finish off with a nightcap at one of the bars downtown.
So a lot of the businesses are going to be open after 8 o'clock or
Absolutely.
After the fireworks.
Yep.
To enjoy New Year's Eve, which is good. So again, you're getting the cooperation of the merchants and the businesses downtown to make this really a special night for everybody.
Absolutely. It's a great time for people to head down, and we've talked to the business owners and they know it's going to be a busy time for them as well. So they'll be open and they'll be celebrating with everyone.
How important, and this is I guess more of a philosophical question from you, from your position, how important is it for the city to do an event like this on New Year's Eve? Because not a lot of communities do this.
It's really important. Anytime we can have any type of programming or events in the downtown area or in the city is a great opportunity to bring people to the city, to help bring people to the businesses and have them experience a taste of New Bedford. It helps the business owners, and it also just really paints a great picture of New Bedford.
Yeah, it is a postcard, really, when you think about it, for that night with all the things that are going on. We're going to talk about those things coming up in a second. Why don't you give us a little preview? In the second segment here, what are we going to discuss?
So we're really excited to be debuting an artist here in New Bedford named Nelson Raposa of Broken Glass Projections. He does something very interesting called projection mapping, and that's basically turning 3D or turning objects into art, a digital form of art in real life. So super excited for that to be debuting in Wings Court this year for City Celebrates.
And we'll go through the schedule too to talk about some of the other performers and artists as well. We'll do that coming up in a second. You're watching City Hall Insider. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to City Hall Insider. I'm Jim Marshall of the New Bedford Cable Network, and we are back here with Ashley Payne, Director of Tourism and Marketing for the City of New Bedford, and we are talking about City Celebrates New Year's Eve.
It's coming up quick.
It's coming up quick. We have a guest. Nelson Raposa is our guest here in the studio. He is one of the, should I say performers or artists? What is the better term for artists who will be participating in New Year's Eve, the city celebrates. Tell us a little bit about your what you do, what people are going to see.
We do projection mapping. It's actually spatial augmented reality, but projection mapping is so much easier to say. That's what it comes down to. But what we do is any 3D object, we project onto it. Only the parts that we want to project onto, so we can cut out areas of the video, and it gives the audience this art. They can't believe what they're seeing because we can actually make the building move or shift, spin in some cases.
Wow.
And they really believe that they're seeing that. It's a you have to see it to believe it type thing.
It sounds new, actually.
It is. It's. I like to call it. It's an old new medium. They've been trying to perfect it for a long time, which it's just basically there. But they had to wait for the technology to catch up, because the ideas were there as far back as Walt Disney.
Well,
He was the first to try to hire these people to really get this thing going, and it took many years.
people are going to be seeing too some of the examples of your work. I know that.
Oh, good.
So, Dan, I know we'll be putting those on here, the program, as we're speaking right now. I'm curious from your standpoint. I know, Ashley, we were talking about getting the performers and the competition to get people to come here. What prompted you to come to New Bedford for City Celebrates?
Well,
are you from the area?
I'm from the area.
Okay.
New Bedford's all I really know. New Bedford, and it's when I heard about all this art that's going on. Other cities were trying to poach me. I was told. But where it's New Bedford, there's a special place for my heart, New Bedford, obviously. And I just want to make it happen here first and have these people see these buildings change. I have never looked at a building the same again. It's changed my life. Mm-hmm. And I believe that it's going to happen to people too. They're going to look at the buildings and they're going to go, that would be cool to have that done on that building. So and the kids are just, they can't believe what they're seeing.
And that's who you're trying to attract too. You're trying to attract the young people.
Right, and they enjoy it actually. The adults are trying to figure out what's going on, and the kids are just having fun. They're just like, wow, look at this and look at that. And adults are more trying to figure out what's happening here. And they're just, like I said, they can't believe what they're seeing. And that's where a lot of questions come from.
I was going to say, the reaction you get from the people must be, for an artist, the best part of being an artist.
It is. It's great, and they want to ask questions, and it goes on long after the show, because they have to know what happened. What did I just see? And is it 3D? How come I didn't have to wear glasses? That's the big one.
Because you think of the old 3D movies when we were kids and stuff like that. Yeah.
How come I don't have to wear glasses? We're tricking your brain into believing you're seeing 3D, and they still, they just, when's the next one? Gets to the point. They don't want to know. They just want the next show.
So Amy DeRozier's the marketing manager in the tourism and marketing office.
Who hasn't been on the program in the last two? She's been.
Maybe next time.
Exactly.
She told me about this at first. She told me about Nelson and broken glass projections, and I didn't quite understand what she was trying to explain to me. And then Nelson sent us a video, and I watched it at home. And all of a sudden, I'm like, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? And then I was like, oh my goodness! My husband comes running into the room. What's wrong? I was like, you have to see this video. Even just seeing it through a phone screen, I was blown away at what I saw with how he transformed this building into something completely different. So we're so excited to see what you're going to do in Wings Court for City Celebrates. It's going to be amazing.
We have some pretty big surprises.
Do you have to pre-scout the area or whatever?
We do. We actually, the three of us, Amy and Ashley, and we picked which building we thought would be an area also where the people could congregate, because
you just can't show up.
You just can't. Right. No, I have to 3D scan the building.
Okay.
Then we do photogrammetry from it, create a 3D model, and then we. I'll put it in my room or in the bedroom in different spots so that I can always look at this thing, come up with the ideas, and then we project onto the little model, and then we have to go back. We have to test, map the building. You actually have to map the building and get that thing on there.
Is this a long process, though?
Yes, this is the quickest I've done it. But it is a long process. We don't like to take on a job that's like, say, 8 weeks. We like to get beyond that. It depends on how not creative, but how custom you want it to be. And then the 3D is a lot of work. This is a lot of graphic arts, then creating videos, editing videos, the whole 9 yards to make it happen. So the crazier you want to go, the longer it's going to take to make it happen, but the better the show.
Ashley, from your standpoint, I'm curious because obviously this is something a lot of people probably haven't seen. When you're developing the evening, are you looking for? I mean, you could always just go with, I guess, for lack of a better word, the standards. But are you looking, in a sense, I don't say to challenge, but to surprise the people with something completely that they haven't seen before?
Oh yes, so we brought back a few family favorites to the programming lineup, but we wanted to make sure that we were also bringing in some new artists and programming as well. Got to keep it fresh and keep people excited about everything that's going on.
And that, I would assume that, I mean, that's key, like you said, is you I mean, you could just do the same thing every year, but you need to, in order to attract more audience, you've got to change it up.
Exactly, and with this being such a new form of art, especially to New Bedford, we wanted to make sure that we jumped on it quickly and were able to use it with our programming.
You've also, I mean, you were talking off camera about, I mean, you've been doing some shows, for lack of a better word, in other parts of New Bedford too. Some people might be familiar. You were talking about a Halloween show you did.
Yes, it was a good turnout. It was for co-creative, and it was a few partners, city partners, Beatrice, and it was a few people, a yoga studio, and they all volunteered, and it was face painting and all this, and it ended off with the show outdoors, and it was a haunted house, and we just it ended up the building being on fire, and then the water put it out, and there was a lot of cool things, and the kids were very excited. We had some skeletons dancing, and the kids all ended up out in front dancing with the skeletons. It was fun. It was fun.
Talk to me, Ashley. I mean, we want to make sure, obviously Nelson is going to be at, I want to make sure I get it right. So you're going to be at Wings Court from 5 to 8. We've got a lot of other things going on too, and I want to make sure we touch base on the other acts and artists. So the Free Public Library has Vinny's Miracle Fish Puppets.
Yes, so Vinny will be returning to the celebration. He has been here in previous years as well. So he'll be outdoors near the steps of the library with his huge puppets dancing outside. And then indoors at the library we'll have Ever After Storybook Entertainment. So they're bringing Mirabelle, which is everybody's favorite Disney character right now, Spider-Man, which is a huge hit always, a Winter Elf, and Elsa from Frozen.
It looks too, I mean, before we go on, it looks like, I mean, you've really divvied it up, and like when you look at the Storybook Entertainment characters, these are for little kids. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's different age groups are, in a sense, are represented by who you've got coming in. That's
right. So even like over at the National Park Visitor Center, there's going to be Kenny the Clown, who's a magician, but his performance is great for children of all ages, and adults could enjoy it as well. And inside, they're also going to be doing face painting as well.
Cirque Delight is going to be in Custom House Square from 5 to 8.
Cirque Delight is one of the biggest draws that we have for City Celebrates right now. So they're the act that comes in and does the fire breathing and dancing outside. So we posted about that on our social media just recently on Instagram and Facebook. And so many people were commenting, oh, we love Cirque Delight. They did such a great job last year. So we're super excited to bring them back again. It's funny because I see, obviously, you're at Wings Court. Yes. They're going to be at Wings Court. You've almost have to cordon off sections of Wings Court for everybody. So Cirque Delight will be Custom House Square. Oh, Custom House Square. Yes. Okay. We have the Kaleidoscope Art and Entertainment, Magician and Face Painting, which you're talking about at the National Park. UMass Dartmouth Star Store is the Buttonwood Brass Band. Yes, so it's a 3-piece band. They'll be playing inside. Great for adults. It's a nice acoustic set for them, so easy lift, and great if you want to enjoy that and then grab some dinner before the fireworks. It's a nice place to see a show too. Yes. At the Star Store.
Toe Jam Puppet Band, another staple, I guess, on City Celebrates here in New Bedford. They're at the Whaling Museum from 5 to 8. Tell us a little bit about the photo booth, because I just see photo booth here at the Whaling Museum lobby.
So the photo booth, they joined us for the tree lighting as well. So you'll be able to take a picture. It's a nice commemorative picture. It gets texted right to your phone. So you don't have to worry about carrying around a printed photo where you're going to put it in your pocket, your purse. It'll be right on your phone, so you can share it on your social media, use hashtag #NBFestive, and it's a great time, so you'll be able to remember the night.
And obviously it culminates with the fireworks display at 8:30.
That is correct.
Which we should be able to see from just about anywhere downtown.
Yeah.
You said Union Street is closed, right?
The bottom of Union will be
Okay.
closed, as well as Front Street, right in front of Cork and Rose Alley.
For people who are going, what about parking?
Parking, Elm Street Garage and the Zeiterian Garage will be open. There's also free 2-hour parking around the downtown throughout the month of December.
Right. Nelson, from what do you hope for when you go to a show, or when you're putting this on for the city, or whenever you're doing an event like this? What is your goal?
To inspire the kids, that's always a goal in anything, I guess. But to the goal, blow people away.
Yeah.
That's really the goal. It's to see them awe-inspired makes me want to go home and create some more. Come back the next day and do it all over again. But it's really seeing and all the questions on what just happened, and they a lot of people stay. We loop it, and we'll be looping, and they'll stay for more than one because they want to see what they missed. Another person will say, "Did you see?" No, I didn't see that.
So how long do they last usually when you're talking to loop?
Anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Let's just
For one, as you said.
for per show.
Okay.
They've gone as long as 15 minutes and as short as literally 5 minutes. But it all depends on.
I think people are going to be.
Is it corporate? Is it not?
I think people are going to be stunned when they come and see.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I think they will.
I
hope
think so.
Yeah.
And listen, it's going to be great. Thank you for thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you give people, if they have information, if they need information or questions, how can they get in touch with you, and where should they go for more info?
DestinationNewBedford.org is the best website that you can go to for a list of all of the programming events that we have for City Celebrates. Also, we have an event calendar on our website that businesses and organizations will post whatever they have going on all throughout the year. So please check that out at any time. It's the best resource to see what's going on in New Bedford. But yeah, DestinationNewBedford.org.
City Celebrates New Year's Eve, 5 to 8 p.m.
Yes.
Be there or be square, as they say.
That is right. You don't want to miss this. It is going to be so much fun.
Ashley Payne, good seeing you again. Thanks for coming in. Nelson, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming in and sharing your art with us. It's going to be great. And
Thank you for having me.
We hope people enjoy it. I'm sure they will. Sure they will. That's going to do it for this edition of City Hall Insider. I'm Jim Marshall of the New Bedford Cable Network. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.